chapter 2, verses 10 to 12, with commentary following. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Yahuah with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. In these verses, the psalm turns from warning to instruction, calling the rulers of the earth to wisdom and humility before Yahuah. They are urged to serve Yahuah with fear and rejoice with trembling, recognizing that true authority belongs to him alone. Of course, getting world leaders to listen is half the battle, and possibly beyond the current limits of human understanding. But nothing is too hard for Yahuah. If they would simply submit to his authority, things might improve dramatically. Imagine it. Leaders guided by wisdom, justice, and humility. We might even manage to steer the ship in the right direction for once and start heading towards the kingdom instead of sailing confidently in circles. The psalm also declares, "Kiss the Son, lest he be angry," a phrase that reflects submission and loyalty to the one whom Yahuah has appointed. Rather than resisting the rule of the anointed king, the nations are invited to acknowledge his authority and turn from rebellion before judgment comes. Kiss the Son is the scriptural way of saying, show respect now before the king schedules a much less friendly meeting later. Politicians are quite good at shaking hands and kissing babies during election season. This time, however, they're being asked for something slightly more meaningful, actual submission. No campaign speeches, no photo opportunities. In other words, take the hand of Yahuah's anointed while it's offered. In ancient times, kissing the king's hand showed loyalty. Ignore that tradition with the king of the universe, and the meeting agenda changes rather quickly. Respect now, or explain yourself later. For believers today, this passage reminds us that the proper response to Yahuah and his anointed, Yahushua HaMashiach, is reverence, obedience, and trust. In a world that often rejects divine authority, followers of Yahushua are called to walk in humility and faithful service. World leaders are recommended to practice bowing. The psalm concludes with a blessing. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. This encourages believers to place their confidence not in human systems or leaders, but in Yahuah's appointed king, knowing that those who seek refuge in him will find security, guidance, and life. In other words, trust the king now rather than throw a tantrum later. The world already has enough angry babies. Thank you for joining Enlighten. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom and praise Yahuah.